Philip Bateman from The Interview here with Liam Foldi, founder of Kenshi Candles, and we're going to have a chat about creating a business to support charity. I dare say that's what you've done here. Would that be the case?
Yeah, so Kenshi Candles are all about turning a expense people are already making, which is not only candles but also gifts, and using the money those people are already spending to raise money for causes people are really passionate about. Yes, that's basically what Kenshi Candles is all about.
Wonderful. And when we say raising money, are we talking like selling a box of cookies money? What sort of volume are you doing?
Well, in the last year, Kenshi Candles was sort of directly through selling candles, not only on our website, but also for schools or charities that sell the candles to help fundraise for their causes. We've raised about over $25,000, and that's gone directly for causes around Melbourne, but also in other sort of third world countries where it's needed most. Yeah,
wonderful. And at what point were you sitting down thinking, like, whose permission did you need to start a charity business?
Well, I guess that's probably one of the reasons I got into it, that I didn't really think I needed anyone's permission, I guess. When I first started with Kenshi Candles about 18 months ago, it was really, I'd read a few books about Daniel Flynn about Thank You, and another guy who made the shoes in America that they're called Toms. And basically I'd read a few books about this sort of whole idea of social enterprises and how you can turn money people are already spending to raise money instead of just donating. You can turn regular expenses into actually something meaningful. So that was sort of the idea, which was combined with candles.
Yeah. So rather than trying to harvest a percentage of the people who are already donating, who is a fixed community of people who are donating out there, you look at revenue people are already spending and then redirect it into profitable enterprise. Well, sorry, charitable, beneficial enterprise.
Yeah, that's the idea. Pretty much people are already spending however many hundreds or thousands of dollars a year on gifts, and if we can just move a fraction of that expenditure into these candles where the profit is going to causes that are actually meaningful, we can raise a lot of money. And that's the idea.
And when you say meaningful causes, what specific cause is this enterprise directly related to?
Well, at the moment we've sort of worked with a few causes, and in the last year we've been partnering with the Chin community from Myanmar. We've been working with their community here in Melbourne to not only make the candles here where we are right now, but also to sell the candles to raise money, which goes right back directly to their community in Chin State, Myanmar, where it's needed most. The big issue sort of with Chin State is it's been a closed country for so long, and it's such an isolated place that there's so much need there at the moment, and that's what these candles we're raising money for at the moment, is being able to send that money directly to the source, and really without needing to go through different charities where they take percentages. It's just going directly there to where it's needed.
And that's because of the direct involvement of some of the sort of most well-recognised or most supportive Chin citizens in Victoria that are being a part of your process. Is that the case?
Yeah. So our work with Jacob and Boy here in Melbourne, so they're members of the Chin community just in Melbourne, and they've come from Chin State in Myanmar after a long process of being persecuted because of who they are, and they've eventually ended up here, and now we're trying to help the people that are still in Chin State that are still in need.
And are there any specific examples of projects the funding is going towards, any you know of or that you're particularly excited about? I think fences you mentioned.
Yeah, so at the moment, where a major problem in Myanmar is that we've got lots of sort of wild animals that are basically running around and eating crops. So most of the food will come from farmers that are growing it. But the problem is that these are being trampled on and eaten by sort of wildlife in the area. So right at the moment, the money that we're raising is going towards building a fence, which is going to be able to keep the wildlife out and ensure that we can grow food in Myanmar, and it can be a sort of self-sustaining system.
And please do look into the other videos we'll be filming with other members of Kenshi Candles, because as far as I'm aware, anecdotally, Myanmar is essentially, a lot of the people in Chin State haven't seen white people or Australians since the end of World War II, when the country was taken over post-colonialism via a military government, who then said that no foreigners are allowed into the ethnic minority areas. And so there is a total lack of infrastructure, roads, electricity, all the common things you would associate with your day-to-day life. And a direct channel to getting funding to these people by people from that geography is to engage in this process of buying great gifts. And you've built a better candle? What's going on there?
Well, it was no short process, and I think I was probably a bit naive when I first got started making candles.
Great place to start from.
Yeah, I thought I would be pretty easy to just jump online and work together a candle, and it would just sell online. That was my first sort of thought. But yeah, it's really quite a process of multiple months of prototypes and testing different wax, different scent volumes, different wicks, different amount of wicks. You can have one or multiple wicks, and all these things that go into making a candle that actually burns properly. It doesn't burn too shallow, and it doesn't burn all the way out, and you get all soot on the sort of outside of the jar. So yeah, and that's what most of the other sort of candle companies you'll see is, it's easy to do that with a sort of individual candle, but once you go into mass producing candles, lots of the bigger companies are trying to maximize profits, and they take shortcuts. And yeah, that's basically what we've tried to make a candle that actually works how it's supposed to, and is as good as any other candle out there.
So you've got revenue, you've got a team making things, you've got customers to satisfy, you're giving away your profits to charity. What have you learned about business over the last year and a half?
Yeah, well, it's been quite a sort of, I guess, really just been put into it, and had to learn everything on the run, I guess. But yeah, learn a lot about how sales works, I guess, and how people are sort of motivated, and really, learn a lot about how people want to help, and people see people that are in need, especially say in third world countries, and you hear stories about everyone who's people starving here or in need everywhere around the world, but it's hard to actually do something to help those people. So that's basically what I guess Kenshi Candles is trying to do. It's trying to make an easy way for people that see that need and want to help, and it's an easy way for them to actually get involved and do something without having to make any like massive sacrifices in their life.
And what resources did you need to get started? Did you have like 50 grand in the bank, or how did you because I know there's people out there thinking, oh, maybe I could do that, though they're going, but I don't have, what do you need to really do something like this? Yeah,
well, when we started Kenshi Candles about 18 months ago now, it was really completely from scratch. I think I had about $500 originally, which just went towards getting some jars in from all these different suppliers, and just basically testing candles and different jars and different waxes. And then there was there was no major, I guess, anything that went into it, and it was really a gradual process of then going to friends and family and asking for feedback and sort of growing from there, I guess, word of mouth, really. Yeah.
So for people out there who are considering, young people out there who want to change the world, what would your message be to them?
I think the most important thing is to just do it. Really, there's a lot of, you can talk about doing things for forever, but that doesn't actually change anything. So yeah, it's really no matter what, if you just go, have a go, and you can just change things on the run.
And this is one thing you wanted people to know in the world about Kenshi Candles. What would you share?
I think that if you're looking for a way to help people that are really in need and to raise money for something you're passionate about, then Kenshi Candles are a perfect way to do that without having to pressure friends and family asking for donations or having big events. Kenshi Candles are a way for you to approach friends and family or just buy Kenshi Candles yourself and support a cause you believe in through money you would have spent anyway.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.